Cities of Migration presents All Kids Are VIPs, Immigrant Integration at School. In the next hour, we'll learn about an exciting idea, All Kids Are VIPs, a school-based program from Germany. The program empowers immigrant youth, educators, and celebrity ambassadors to raise awareness about cultural diversity. Replicated in Barcelona as Eres, joven, triunfarás, or You Are Young, You Will Succeed, this program has now spread to schools across Spain, where it's inspiring a new generation to share positive contributions about the diversity that is so much part of their everyday lives. I am delighted to welcome today's presenters, experts Carolyn Dessen from the Bertelsmann Stiftung in Germany and Irene Pardo from the Fundación Bertelsmann in Spain. As we hear about how the success of the All Kids Are VIPs program has traveled from Germany to Spain, I ask all of you to imagine how this good idea might be adapted in your own city. And please remember that you can submit questions for the Q&A in the chat box to the left of your screen at any point during the webinar. And now, please join me in welcoming our first presenter. From Gütersloh, Germany, we welcome Caroline Dessen, who manages the Alle Kids Sind VIPs, or All Kids Are VIPs program that was founded by the Bertelsmann Stiftung and where it has become a runaway success. Hello, Caroline. Welcome to the Learning Exchange. Please tell us about your wonderful program. The podium is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm delighted to take part in this webinar to talk about Alle Kids Sind VIPs. Since 2008, the competition Alle Kids Sind VIPs, initiated by the Bertelsmann Stiftung, has offered awards to outstanding projects done by young people in the area of integration and fairness. The goals of the campaign are first, fair educational opportunities for children regardless of their ethnic heritage, and second, a better blending of the different cultures to be found in today's German society. Studies show that educational success is closely related to the student's background. About 16 million inhabitants in Germany come from families of recent immigrants. That is about 20% of the population. 2.3% of 18 to 24-year-old Germans have not graduated from secondary school, but in the community of recent immigrants, this nearly doubles to 4.4%. This leaves talents wasted and individuals frustrated. The Bertelsmann Stiftung is committed to the common good in the tradition of its founder, Reinhard Mohn. We identify social challenges and develop exemplary solutions in the areas of education, economy, health, and international understanding. Alle Kids Sind VIPs is originally based upon the ideas of the Karl Bertelsmann Prize 2008. With the Karl Bertelsmann Prize, renamed Reinhard Mohn Prize, the Bertelsmann Stiftung searched for best practice examples that demonstrate how children from families that have recently immigrated to Germany get fair educational chances. Education is essential for integration in all destination countries. The winner in 2008 was the Toronto District School Board. The Bertelsmann Stiftung was inspired by the slogan, "Diversity, our strength." In Toronto schools, the second generation of immigrants was a lot more successful than its counterpart in Germany, due to Toronto's strong strategy in approaching equity and excellence. Heterogeneity is an everyday reality also in Germany, but the chances of succeeding in school remain related to the social background to a greater extent than in many other countries. We learned a lot from the winner of the Karl Bertelsmann Prize from 2008, in particular to focus on the value of variety in culture and society and, as well, of guaranteeing fair educational opportunities for all young people. Coming from that thinking, we had the starting point for Alle Kids Sind VIPs. The integration competition, Alle Kids Sind VIPs, wants to showcase good school-based practices which prove that all children and youngsters are equally important for society and that all have earned a fair chance. Hence, Alle Kids Sind VIPs awards projects which show how integration and fairness are dealt with in a positive way. Young people between the ages of 11 and 21 can apply with a project on the subject of integration. Dancing, singing, acting, or explaining cultural customs. Every project which strengthens social and intercultural cohesion is published on the webpage of Alle Kids Sind VIPs. The webpage is used as a base for the competition, including all pieces of information, tips, and news. The contestants apply through a form on the webpage. The design was adapted to the target group, and you'll find the same design on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. A jury picks the winners' projects. Winners receive a journey to Berlin, where the winners are honored with a special event, and a visit to their school or club by a prominent VIP ambassador. After the selection of the winners through a juried process, the prize-winning students and school representatives travel to Berlin to be honored at that special event, where the VIP ambassador is announced for each winner's project. The ambassadors are incorporated into the event to create an unforgettable experience for the participants. The slogan, "All kids are VIPs," sets the emotional stage for the event. At the award ceremony, every participant should feel like a very important person, and it should be understood that every VIP, because of his or her dedication, has the power to create positive change in the world. The winners wear Alle Kids Sind VIPs t-shirts, get VIP wristbands, and meet the ambassadors. They are quite close with their idols even while the stars perform. This year there will be performances of the singers Andreas Borani, Maite Kelly, and Daniel Aminati. The winners will also see a dance performance and a soccer acrobat. The highlight of each winner is to learn which ambassador will visit them, and of course to meet the celebrity ambassadors, take photos, and get autographs. After this award ceremony, we begin with visits to the winners' schools. To spend one day with a star who takes the time to talk to the young people about their projects makes the winners feel really appreciated. Every ambassador visit is different. The prominent actor might give a professional acting workshop. The singer might support the winners by giving a performance in the assembly hall of the school, or the professional soccer player might run a training workshop with the young people. These unique events are the profit of winning the competition Alle Kids Sind VIPs. The young people notice once again how worthwhile it is to advocate cooperation of the cultures. So who are the Alle Kids Sind VIPs ambassadors? The ambassadors are public figures from the German music, theater, or sports world. Their own immigrant backgrounds combined with high social success makes them role models for the young people. Each of them has gained his or her own experience on the subject of integration. These are the stars that support Alle Kids Sind VIPs. It's the band Culture Candela, the comedian Bülent Ceylan, soccer national players Mario Gomez and Celia Okoyino Dambabi, actor Typhoon Beta, singers Andreas Borani and Maite Kelly, TV presenters Daniel Aminati and Sherry Reeves, top model Rebecca Meir, and the multiple breakdance world champions, the Flying Steps with the dance crew Fanatics. So we come to the example of projects. My friends, my neighbors. 12-year-old students made a dance performance based on collected information about countries and cultures. Their prize was a breakdance workshop with the Flying Steps. The Flying Steps performed for the whole community, students, parents, teachers. In this project, 17-year-old students improved their cultural competence by sharing stories about themselves and their experiences. Reflection and talking about their experiences and prejudices helped to improve their intercultural understanding. The prize was a professional acting workshop with the actor Typhoon Beta. Alle Kids Sind VIPs supports young people's wish to take an active role in shaping their futures. Through the project work, they deal with questions about social life and culture in Germany. They develop ideas for improving their everyday lives. Reflection and exchange of their own experiences and perceptions open a new consciousness of the ethnic cultural variety in Germany. The visit of a prominent ambassador is highly valued. The young people feel they are taken seriously with their project work, and the whole episode has a lasting effect. The VIP ambassadors are important role models for the children. As an example, the very successful comedian Bülent Ceylan, whose mother is German and whose father is Turkish, uses humor to support tolerance and the understanding of cultural differences. He focuses on cultural misunderstandings and makes people understand that cultural variety is a benefit. Bülent Ceylan is very popular in Germany, and the winners of Alle Kids Sind VIPs love meeting him each year because of his obvious enthusiasm for the young people in the program. Our success. Alle Kids Sind VIPs has constantly high presence in print, online, on the radio, and on TV. In 2012, we added 3 new VIP ambassadors for a new total of 11. This enables us to have 11 winners in 2012 and 11 ambassador visits to winning schools. We are very proud of our 113 competitors and the projects they have proposed. This year nearly doubles our previous numbers. We have also had nearly twice as many page impressions on our webpage as compared with 2010. In February 2012, we logged 95,833 page impressions, nearly 65% of which came via Facebook. This is due to various reasons. We have relaunched the web page with a new design for the target group of 15 or 16-year-olds. Users can now play online a memory game called Stars Memo. Our own Facebook account and the accounts of various ambassadors have welcome pages that point out to the website. In 2011, we were present at several key events, including book fairs and concerts, where we talked to young people about the program and the matter of integration and equal opportunity of education for all children. We also undertook a direct mailing campaign to schools in hopes of reaching teachers. All of this combined to bring growing recognition to Alle Kids Sind VIPs. 35% of our users find us by looking for our campaign name via a search engine. This is an increase of 41% over 2010. Lessons learned. We have 2 different target groups, the students and the teachers. So we need 2 different ways to communicate with them. To draw the attention to the competition, we have sent mailings to schools, associations and youth centers. We have sent brochures with good project examples and explanations how teachers can use the matter of integration in each subject. This is how we engage the teachers. We engaged our young people in several different ways. For example, we participated in the biggest youth fair in Europe, the U in Berlin. Further, we are represented on Facebook, which is the channel the youngsters already use. The social web plays a prominent role in our daily work to reach the kids. That way we appeal to the young people directly and draw the attention of the public to the subject of integration and fairness. To encourage and to activate young people to make themselves strong for their future, to sharpen the public awareness of the importance of educational opportunities for all children, regardless of their background. These are the goals of Alle Kids Sind VIPs. We think it's an idea that will travel around the world. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Caroline, for sharing the story of this outstanding program success. Good ideas do travel, as this one has, across German schools and cities, and now on to Spain. So let us now go to Spain with our next speaker. From Barcelona, I'd like to introduce Irene Pardo, Project Manager of the Eres, joven, triunfarás, you'll excuse my Spanish, which translated as "You are young, you will succeed," another successful program from the Fundación Bertelsmann. Hello, Irene. Do tell us more about how the German campaign has been successfully replicated in Spain, and share some of the lessons about how you achieved such success for your program there. The podium is now yours.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, according to the time zones. I would like to start by explaining some details about the project prior to Eres, joven, triunfarás, which we worked on to develop social youth entrepreneurship. In the initial analysis of the previous project, we saw that a lot of groundwork will be needed to achieve a good level of participation in schools, which is key for developing the entrepreneur capacity on students. However, before looking at the details of education and immigration, let's look at some general details about immigration in two of the Spanish cities with the highest number of immigrants. I won't go into too much detail so as not to take up valuable time. If you wish to do so, you may consult the statistics later on. The first steps for starting up Alle Kids Sind VIPs project was to carry out a detailed analysis of the current situation in Spain regarding education and immigration. During the school year 2010-2011, 9.5% of students enrolled in Spanish schools were born outside of Spain. This represents 707,384 students in total. The PISA study shows that the grade of students who were not born in Spain are 56 points lower than their peers who were born in Spain. In some cases, the difference between the grades of students born in Spain or in a different country is 72 points, which means that they are below the OECD average. Children from immigrant families with the same degree of competence and intelligence achieve less at schools than their students of local origin. In Barcelona, the percentage of immigrants in secondary education is 17.5%, but drops to 7.4% in higher education, in higher school, and 7.8% in vocational training, according to the Department of Education. Immigrant students also have lower expectations about higher education than their Spanish counterparts. Given that the situation of immigrant students was similar in Spain and in Germany, the Fundación Bertelsmann, with experience as data transfer agency, decided to replicate the project. In one sense, this will give continuity to the previous project and also serves as an opening for a new area about cultural diversity management. But concretely, why we did decide to replicate this project? Because it responds to a detected social need in Spain. The concept is clear for the population, for young people and also for adults. It was possible to adapt it to the Spanish context, and it is very fresh, visual, dynamic, and attractive. When we started to take the first steps to adapt the project in Spain, we found that the Spanish education system was different from the German one in various aspects. So we needed to adapt the program parameters such as student age and grade level, find other partners to facilitate access into schools like the Ministry of Education, and because the students have less autonomy to start projecting their schools than in Germany, we focus more on teachers. To approach teachers more easily, we include, for example, the Siena Group as a partner, which publishes a newspaper that is widely read by professionals in education. The process of finding ambassadors, famous persons with immigrant roots, was more complex than in Germany, given that German society has a greater number of immigrants that also have been established in the country since the 50s, during the period post-war. This means that the children of these early immigrants and even their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren have become in independent adult life. Historically, Spain has been a source country of immigrants, but in the early 70s, with the onset of democracy coinciding with the oil crisis, many families of Spanish origin, mostly migrated to other European countries and Latin America, returned to Spain. According to several studies, the massive influx of non-Spanish immigrants to Spain began in the late 90s, So the process of inclusion of the majority of immigrants in Spain began only 12 years ago. But we found great ambassadors, famous persons with immigrant roots. The three on the right are new for 2012. As you can see, two of them are marked with red arrows. These two people, one a television news presenter and the other a film director, have a different profile from the rest. They are not so well known by the young people themselves, but they are very well known by teachers and our collaborators. Remember that we focus more on teachers. Thanks to the efforts of the promotion of the competition and the support received from our collaborators, 2,500 articles were written covering the project, and we participated in 5 radio programs and 4 television programs. Thanks to the project, we participated in 4 conferences on interculturality, education, and use of speakers, and the competition's website received more than 10,600 visits, while the YouTube videos were viewed over 13,400 times. The Eres network of the Alliance of Civilizations and Cities of Migrations recognized the project as a good practice. It is very, very positive. On this slide, we can see a map with good ideas that were presented in the competition. In total, 89 projects from 14 of the 17 regions from Spain. On the right, you can see 2 graphs which shows the distribution of participants by region and their age range. When considering the criteria for replicating the project, it is very important, as in any other project, to analyze the context and adapt the project to the reality of your city or country. Also, try to recycle on resources, contacts of other projects. For example, we could use the networks and some of the material which has been created for the Social Youth Entrepreneurship project, and that helps us very, very much. Another thing is that you should start by replicating only the part of the project that your organization can manage. The Fundación Bertelsmann is smaller than the German organization, so it was not viable to use one detail. This is an online voting system as in the German version of the project. So we decided not to implement it yet. The transferable lessons are that famous persons are really not so difficult to contact if you present them a good idea. Videos and visual materials are very important for being in touch with young people. Don't forget the teachers in your activities. As teachers have clearly explained me, some school competitions do not encourage participation as the teachers are not considerate. Participate in other competitions to find out about other organizations which work towards similar goals, and locate active schools which could become future participants of your competition. And finally, I would like to leave these words of some students who participated in the visit of Chenoa, one of our ambassadors of the competition, as at the end of the day, the purpose of the project is to inspire the students, so they are our VIPs. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Irene, for that excellent presentation and for some invaluable lessons about your success and your success in replicating a wonderful model from Germany. We can all learn from these good ideas, from these good practices that have demonstrated success and are really providing solutions to challenges that in fact are shared, notwithstanding differences in jurisdiction and context and language. So thank you very much for that. I'm just going to point out that there is now a poll on the screen and invite you to vote. The question today is where we'd like to know whether you would adapt today's good idea, a good practice in your own city. You can cast your vote at any time before the session ends. It'll just be sitting there throughout the session, and this is an anonymous poll. We're just interested in your feedback, so please don't hesitate to submit an answer. So we're now going to move on to our question and answer period. I'm going to invite you to submit questions to the Q&A box while we take our first question. Irene and Caroline, your VIPs program design really does seem perfect. It's a playful competition that livens up the classroom, that provides rewards to the students today, as well as providing a positive reinforcement that guarantees a longer-term commitment to equality and respect for diversity. Given the school-based nature of your success, the age of your students, my question is: do you think early interventions are the secret to creating open, inclusive culture, and in combating the what some people call the unintentional racism that can be accidentally passed on through stereotypes and through misinformation? Perhaps I could ask you, Caroline, to start.
Sure. I think there is no single secret to combating unintentional racism, which pervades our daily life. That being said, early interventions are certainly a powerful weapon. Young minds absorb so much, so quickly, so permanently, that early lessons such as these can really help to change a person's perspective over a long term.
Thank you. How about, and you, Irene?
I think early interventions are always very important. Also, we saw that in the project for youth entrepreneurship. So as soon as you start trying to change something, so easier it is. Yeah.
Very good. So the next question that I have here, and again we'll go to Caroline, is that because we know how strong the Bertelsmann Stiftung has worked in this area around working towards higher levels of educational achievement among all German students. So is there any evidence yet that the VIPs program, either in Germany or in Spain, has had an impact on educational achievement? I mean, it may be too early to really be able to report empirically on this, but perhaps you could comment on the potential of this wonderful program to influence student test scores.
As you point out, it is indeed too early to point to any empirical results. But anecdotes that we've heard through our participants, their families and their school communities, suggest that this unique opportunity to exercise their creativity and, of course, to meet role models improves their engagement with their school and thus their test scores.
Very good. And this question will go straight to Irene here. I wonder, can you talk? I mean, you've identified the importance of the teacher training component in your adaptation of this program in Spain. Perhaps you could talk for a moment about the impact of your program on teachers. How easy was it for you to get schools to participate? How significant was the buy-in of the teachers? And tell us about the impact of the program on teachers themselves.
Yeah, in this competition, the support of a teacher responsible of the project submitted by the students is imperative. This helps to create a bond between students and teachers beyond the everyday syllabus. It also promotes the importance of good management of cultural diversity among teachers, based on the idea that cultural diversity is positive and serves to enrich their host societies. Teachers who are aware of the issue of interculturality can help their learners to acquire the necessary knowledge, attitudes, and skills to interact effectively in different cultural contexts. So I think it's very important for them and for the students also.
And for you, Caroline?
The impact of this program on teachers, in our program, the threshold for this has actually been quite low. The program and opportunities that we offer are something special and unique for most of the school communities that we interact with. And I think the teachers that we talk to are usually really enthusiastic right from the start.
That's very important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised they're enthusiastic. It's such a wonderful program. I'd like now to turn to some of the questions. We've had a number of questions coming in from our audience, so we'll turn now to our audience. And the first question comes from Mimosa Matoshi, who asks both speakers who has been the main partner on developing their ideas, and to comment on any challenges in the partnership. And perhaps we could start with you, Caroline.
Could you repeat the question, please?
Yes.
I'm not quite sure.
Our audience member would like to know whether you had partners in the implementation and development of the project, and those partnerships created opportunities or challenges.
Okay, no. Of course, we needed celebrities to volunteer with us, and we're quite grateful that they do this honorary because it's just such a great project. Of course, we have to communicate a lot with teachers and schools and to the young people, but we don't have any concrete partners.
Mm. And how about you and Irene?
Yeah.
On the topic of partnerships and
yeah, for us, because we are a smaller organization in Spain, partners are really important. Our first partner was the Ministry of Education. It helps us to open the schools for us because the educational system is not so flexible in Spain. And also media partners, so specific media partners for teachers or for the third sector or for young people, that it helps us to disseminate the idea better. So and the VIPs really are they are really important in the competition.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Thank you. Our next question comes from the United States, from Norma Matty, who's with the North Carolina Division of Public Health in Raleigh, North Carolina. Norma asks, how are families involved in these projects? And again, let's go to you, Caroline. Are families involved in your project?
Families, no, not in that case. I mean, we talk a lot to the young people, and a lot of parents actually talk to us as well. So families in that way that we talk about integration, and yes, we do, but it's not that families apply with projects for us, but associations, youth centers can all apply, not only schools. And so if a parent, for example, has a good idea for a project, they can apply as well. So it's just important for us to have contact with young people, and of course with their families as well, because it's very important. The background of the young people is very important for us as well.
That's very interesting. And have you, and Irene, how about you, the role of family in the success of your program?
Yeah, one of the criteria for selecting the good ideas is interaction with other actors. In some project, in one of the winners from 2011, this actor is the family. And I think some project that we become, there is a really interaction with the students, family, and schools. Very good.
Thank you. I have another question, this time from the city of Baltimore, again in the United States. Someone at the Baltimore City Public Schools asks, how do you identify the celebrity ambassadors? Are there any criteria or guidelines that would be good to follow there? And maybe, again, we can ask you, Irene, about how you identify celebrity ambassadors?
Yeah, for me it's very easy because I'm not famous, but I have the same profile what I am looking for. Yeah, I was born outside. I was born in another country, and I came to Spain when I was 10. So I was looking for this profile for people who were born outside or people who has parents from other countries. So these are people with sweet cases from other countries that are really adapted and that they live like a normal citizen in the host country. So for me it was or host or national country. So for me that was the criteria.
Great. And Caroline,
Yeah.
go ahead.
The immigrant background, of course, is very important, and of course the high social success, because they need to be role models for the young people. So the success should be in the target group 13 to 20 years old. And further, of course, they have to be really enthusiastic about children, about young people, about the whole subject of integration. And our celebrity ambassadors can all talk about their own experiences with integration because they all have that immigrant background, and they quite understand and know how it feels to be to have an immigrant background. So they can really talk to the young people, and the young people understand what they are talking about, and they have a connection between each other. So when we are on these school visits, the ambassadors really go to the kids and hug them and talk to them, and you really see that the children feel appreciated by that. That's important for us.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful that to get that kind of engagement. I have another question now, returning to the question of teacher training. This question comes from Mary Ryan, who is with the ELSTA Dublin in Ireland. And Mary asks, how easy or difficult was it to get teachers to engage with the project? Were the teachers from all subject areas? And she says, thank you for this wonderful opportunity. ELSTA would like to replicate it, and we will be looking for you presenters soon. So that's exciting.
Nice.
But perhaps you'll comment on how you engage teachers in the project, whether special kinds of teachers or whether it's teachers across the curriculum. And again, let's start with you, Caroline, please.
Okay, we try to address teachers in secondary schools, and it's not that difficult because this opportunity that we offer is quite special, and normally the teachers are really enthusiastic about it, and that's an opportunity for them to get the pupils to really be dedicated to what they do in the school. So we have this brochure, what I talked about earlier, to let them know how to put the subject of integration in their subjects. So in English, in German, in sports, in all subjects you can talk about integration, and that is how we address the teachers, and of course with the mailing that we did to schools. So it's not that difficult.
And Irene, would you like to comment too on engaging teachers?
Yeah, it's like Caroline said, it's really not so difficult, and so in our case we had the help from the Ministry of Education, and they have a really big database from schools and teachers. And we have, so like I said in the presentation, we have partners specifically that they are addressed to teachers, like the newspaper Magisterio. It is in like almost every school in Spain, and yeah, and also involving them in the activities. So in the ceremony for the last ceremony for giving the prizes, we invite the teachers to come to with the students, and they are really happy with that. They say to me that it's a very interesting opportunity to make other activities with their students.
Very good. I now have a question from Marissa Pablo Duer, who asks about how you ensure the sustainability of the project results. So there's many ways of thinking about project results, but I thought it would be interesting to ask about, in terms of educational outcomes and the impact on the achievement of these young students. I will invite you, Irene, to comment on the longer term results and sustainability of the project.
Yeah. I don't think if I understood good the question.
The question was about the sustainability of the project results, and I invite you to comment on generally about the results, but specifically about the educational outcomes for the child.
For the children, yeah, okay. So teenagers are people who are building their personality and seeking their place in the world. In this process, they are very vulnerable. Teachers with immigrant backgrounds are 2 times vulnerable because of the added confrontation of their skills that they learn from their family or country of birth and the worldview of their host societies. Participating in this competition is very positive, as it helps boost self-esteem of students with immigrant backgrounds and consequently their educational achievement. And I think that helping them to boost their self-esteem is one step for the success, and in this case I think it's for their future and it will be sustainable. I don't know if I'm answering the question well.
No, I think that's a critical measure of what creates success, that creating a confident child who recognizes themselves in the community they live in. No, I thank you very much for that. And Caroline, would you like to comment as well on the sustainability
sure.
of your results? And
it's like Irene said, it's very, very important for the young people to get self-esteem and to be confident in what they do, and we're taking the ideas and thoughts of young people very seriously, and we appreciate if they tell us their ideas and their thoughts, and if they communicate with each other. And we hear so much when they do these projects, they first learn that it could be fun and that it is fun to learn new things and to be engaged in projects and to really shape their future actively. And second, they make friends. They talk to each other, and then they get to know each other and understand cultural differences, for example. And this is really a lasting thing. I mean, it's only since 2008, but that's a lasting effect. They stay in touch, and they stay encouraged to be active, and I think that's very good.
Yeah.
And sorry about the results. The results are the good ideas that we become, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, so when we are collecting all these good ideas, and we are now writing a comic for disseminate these good ideas, and I think, bueno, to spread out these ideas, and I don't know if that
That's a brilliant idea. I'm sure that's something that many people will be interested in, and how interesting that you're using a comic comic book format, to make sure that that these ideas are really, that kids can really access them. That's quite wonderful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you can all see the results, the projects on the webpage. That's a lot of people do that. Come to the webpage and see what other children or kids are doing, or what other schools are doing for projects, and that's very inspiring.
That's great. I'll also point out that there are wonderful videos on both the German and the Spanish website that showing these interactions of the ambassadors with the kids, and I recommend them highly. You don't need to speak the language to appreciate the energy, and thank you.
That's true.
Now I have a question here from Juan Lizama. I think you've already addressed a little bit, but let me put it to you. He says, the students who participate in Alle Kids, are they more open-minded to diversity, or do they come with negative perceptions about certain groups? Or in other words, he asked, is Alle Kids reaching the students it needs to reach the most, to root out racism? So I guess the question is really about attitudes in the classroom before and after their experience with VIPs for kids. So maybe I could ask you, Caroline, to start.
Sure. The students that participate are normally in classes. So maybe there's one student which really wants to do that project and tries to get all the other students to participate as well. So normally they are, after that project, quite more open-minded than before, because it's not always that all the students really want to talk about integration. But when they get to know how important this is, they are normally really more open-minded. So I think we reach a lot of students, and it's important for Germans as well as for students with an immigrant background. They both can learn that variety is a benefit, and that's the important thing. And if we have just reached one student that is really changing the mind, then that's perfectly wonderful.
That's great. And for you, Irene, do you see a shift in, maybe you want to comment about the kids that for the most part you see in your classrooms, and whether there's a change in their attitudes as a result of the...
Yeah, I saw it when we have very different projects, but I saw it in some of them very clearly. Like in one, it is a wiki about the countries from the school where the students are. It was like 30 different nationalities, and they started with a project to address the culture from the other countries to the school, to the whole students. And they started very slow to increase this wiki page, and at the end they have a lot of countries in this page, and all the children from the school knew about other countries, and it was very easy to them to understand that being from other countries is not bad, it's different, and can bring a lot of things to them. And really I saw changes. I saw a lot of changes when we visited the schools that they won.
Yeah. Well, these are the things that guarantee long-term success and sustainability. So I have a question from Daria and Anna, and they want to know how you support the children, how you support the students during the process of implementing a project. So, Irene, how are the children supported in the implementation of their successful?
Yeah, so children are really good in new technologies. So the teachers have more problems to participate in the project than the children's. But we help them online because sometimes they don't know how to or where to put some information. And also we ask them that one adult is supporting this idea. And no, so we help them so with through the emails and directly through the web page and through Facebook, but they don't have big problems during the process.
And Caroline?
They can always call us, and they actually do. So we're helping them on the side of technique, but that's not really a big matter because we launched the web page and we have a really easy formula where they just put in how many pupils are involved, what about the age, what are you really doing in this project, and that's really easy to apply. That's not really a problem, but still they can always email us, call us, talk to us on Facebook. And with their projects, we don't really have to help them because they have such great ideas, and there's no need to help anyone to do great projects.
That's great. Thank you. Now I have a very practical question here from Laura Gardner from BRYCS in Washington, D.C. in the United States. Laura says, I'm thinking about how this could be adapted to the United States, where our country is so large. Perhaps it could be adapted state by state. And she asks for your opinion there. Laura is also interested in the cost of your program. She asks whether you can share any information about the cost of the program in Germany and in Spain. And so, again, Caroline, perhaps we'll start with you about the issue of replicating the project or scaling it to an appropriate size, depending on the jurisdiction.
I think it would be good to start in one of the countries of the United States, because then you can try what you need, how. I mean, the United States are such a big country and the ways are very long, so if you want to go to the winter school in the West Coast and you live in the East Coast, it's very difficult. So maybe you start in a smaller way. It's not necessarily a big budget that makes a program a good idea, and the projects that apply are also very different. So schools do projects that normally schools do projects that don't have costs at all, and sometimes when they do a bigger soccer tournament, for example, they might spend some money on it. But if they want to participate, and that's important, there are no costs at all for them. That's important. And the celebrity ambassadors support the program honorary, and that's important too, I think. And we're very, very glad that we have so many ambassadors who are volunteering. So if you need any further help, please feel free to contact me anytime.
Thank you very much. And Irene, how about you in terms of replicating the project on a smaller scale?
Yeah, also we replicated the project on a smaller scale because we are smaller than the Bertelsmann Foundation, one of Bertelsmann Stiftung. And as Caroline says, the budget needs not to be big, so you really need a web page, and you can open a web page with with not a lot of money, and so the rest is you need to contact the famous persons, and as I said in my presentation, starting to replicate only the part of the project that you can manage is very important. And also, so for the United States, I would start with a state with a high number of immigrants to make a test, because the country is so big, and I don't know if with a very, very small budget you can start with. So you start with one state, and then you can try to increase the project, and when it's successful, and it will be.
Yeah, and state by state sounds totally fine.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Good. So I have I have a comment from Fidele Mutwarizabo from Dublin, Ireland, who says, one of the greatest challenges in promoting migrants' educational integration is the curriculum that tends to be centered around the established community. Are the two initiatives engaging with policymakers in relation to the development of the curriculum that reflects the diversity of the increasing diversity of the German and Spanish population? So I guess the simple question is, are you developing recommendations for policymakers around what you're learning from this program regarding promoting the educational achievement of migrant children? Are you connecting with policymakers? And Caroline, maybe we'll start with you. And because we're almost at the end of the hour, just a short answer would be great.
Actually, I'm not quite sure if I got the question, so maybe Irene wants to answer that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we have contact with policymakers as the Ministry of Education, and one of the points is that we want to interact with them and to try to change some things. So we have also contact with universities and teachers that are investigating about interculturally and education. And I think that Caroline can explain something that she is making now, because she's working, or she finished a publication directly for teachers, that they are for working in the classrooms, for developing the diversity, developing the Caroline, sorry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's very important that the teachers reflect the diversity in school. That's very important. So we talk to a lot of teachers who have immigrant background themselves. And in this brochure we made, we have best practice examples of projects that are already apply to us. And this way we help teachers to put integration into each subject. And on long-termship, it's really important that we get more teachers in Germany with an immigrant background. That's very important.
That's very good. Well, thank you very much. You both have been really an inspiration to us all. And if we've taken any lesson at all away, that it really is important to reach for the stars, whether you're a student, whether you're a program manager, whether you're a teacher in the classroom. This has really been excellent. Thank you so much. We are now at the end of the Q&A, and I'd like to close by asking you both a couple of very short questions. I'm just looking for a very short answer. You know, we believe, as you do, that good ideas travel, and so I'd like to know what's next for you. What is the next big idea for you at VIPs for kids in Gütersloh? I'll start with you, Caroline.
Okay. The competition is developing since its start in 2008, and now we are concentrating on the award ceremony, We just had the closing date for applications, and after selecting the winners, we had this award ceremony, and really looking forward to it. But if anyone has good ideas for upcoming events, please feel free to contact me.
Excellent. And one last question for you before I turn to Irene. If there's one tip you can give us, what was the one most important secret to your success?
Okay. I think actually there are two important secrets. First, take the young people seriously with their ideas and thoughts, very important. And second, we love our job. That's it.
That's very good. Thank you so much. So Irene, two short questions to you too. What is the next big idea for you? What's next on your agenda with this project?
In our agenda, the next step is we will visit the winner schools, and we are trying to make like a net with the teachers who are involved in the competition to exchange and to connect them. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant, and I'd love to hear more about that. And now I'm going to ask you, what is the one most important secret to your success in Spain?
Yeah, I think one secret is not a secret, but it's very important that you believe in what you are doing, so that you show what you think, and the interculturality is universal, and you need to find who can help you, and you will find it. And contact with the famous persons is very easy, really. I was contacting them through internet, through telephone, so it's not so difficult. You think they are very far away, but it's not.
So we're gonna close with that big message. Reach for the stars. Excellent. Anyways, we're at the end of our hour. I would very much like to thank you both. Our time has run out. We'll send unanswered questions to our presenters. But on behalf of all of our participants, of our audience today, I would like to thank Carolyn Dessen from the Bertelsmann Stiftung in Gütersloh, Germany, and Irene Pardo from the Fundación Bertelsmann in Barcelona. Thank you so much. And I invite you all to imagine this excellent work being interpreted in your own city, adapted by your organization, or changing your neighborhood.